Hi guys, hope you're all well. I just wanted to do a quick video because I've been asked for a time to do a video on pendulum dowsing and haven't got round to doing anything of that nature yet. So I thought I would just have a go at quickly showing you a very mini video on how to pendulum dowse and what it can be used for. So pendulums can range. They can be pre-bought ones like the one that I'll be using today, or they can be something that you make yourself. So you could use an amulet, as long as it's got like a point to it to help make sense of what you're working with for your yes and your no's. Okay, now when you first get your pendulum, like with a new pack of tarot cards or anything else, just spend some time. First of all, it's advisable to use white sage to sage it, or Palo Santo, just to clear any energies off of it, that you don't want to be working with other than your own. And just spend some time connecting with it, like a piece of jewellery and anything else, making it feel like it's actually yours, okay? And then when you're ready to actually work with the pendulum, it's up to you how you hold it. Some people hold it right from the tip like this. Other people pull it over their finger and hold it back between their between this sort of piece here. As long as the pendulum is still, so that it will work for you. I tend to just hold it from the ball point and make sure that the line is extremely still before I work with it. And then what you want to do before you actually ask it questions, you want to sort of get your definite yes and no answers so that you know that the pendulum is working for the highest of good. Okay, so what I would do, I always just ask the pendulum. You can be quite direct with your pendulum, and I actually ask it, right, show me yes. And for me, my yes is always a circling of clockwise energy. Okay, so that's happening pretty quickly there, as you can see. And then when you're happy that you've got your yes answer, show me no. Now my no is always back and forth, north to south, okay? And then if you're not sure and if there's a situation where you maybe need to be shown a maybe, show me maybe. And for me, mine is always a sort of circulation and a sort of stopping point within the middle. Sometimes it swings from west to east. That's it, it's going west to east now. Okay, bear with me, something's just come up on my phone. So once you've established your yes and no answers, if you want to work a bit deeper with that, just to make sure that what you're truly getting is viable and correct, you can ask a personal question, so something only you would know. So for me, I've got a particular bite that's literally come up last night. So I'm going to ask the pendulum this a sec. So, does Mitch have a bite on his left side of his hip? Straight away that's going to yes. Okay. Do I have a bite on my right hand side hip? No. So again, by asking a personal question, you're just validating your yes and your no. So you've established how your pendulum is working. And once you've done that, you can really ask it any kind of questions you want. Now, people sort of say, how can I use a pendulum? You can use it in so many weird and wonderful ways. For me, the pendulum is something, if I need a quick bit of guidance with, I would work with it and I would use it. And it could be something as basic as like, I've been asked to do a particular event, and if you've got like a little bit of a negative feeling, you could just ask to confirm that through the pendulum and you'd get an answer. Now that's just an example, and whatever's going on in your world, you'd be using yours accordingly for you. It could be something like food. Food is a great way, particularly if you're wanting to lose weight, or if you're going through dietary requirements of things that you need to be aware of. You can actually, if you're feeling brave, go in the supermarket, and I've seen people do this loads. You can actually just pendulum dowse over the food, and should I be having this product? Is this going to serve me? And you'll get your quick yes and no answers. Pendulums are also great for cleansing energy lines. So if, for instance, you have activity going on in your home, if there's an area of your home that feels a bit negative or you're not quite happy with it, you can use the pendulum and ask, is there anything negative or bad there? And then if there is, you can ask for it to be cleared, and you can use the pendulum in a way to clear the energy lines. Sometimes if a home has lost the heart center, you can use a pendulum to just rebalance everything. There's so many weird and wonderful ways, okay? But you'll find a personal things for you. What I would say, like with any form or any tool of divination, don't misuse the power. So obviously sometimes people get very tempted to do things like the lottery numbers, and I've known of people that have done that jokingly and then they've actually won quite big. So obviously, the pendulum will give insight, but be very mindful of how you use it. And I always say with any form of divination, check at all times where your moral compass is pointing, okay? Now you can also use it in a way of mediumship. So for me, things like spirit guides, connecting with loved ones, good and bad negative spirits, you can use it for all these weird and wonderful things. So it's like for me, just as I'm doing this video, I can feel the energy of one of my guides, my main guide, Albert. I can feel he's with me. But if I wanted clarity on that, I could ask the pendulum. So I could literally say, is Albert working with me at this space and moment in time? And very quickly, yes, he is. And again, it's given me my yes answer. And I know he's there because I can basically see him in the room, but I can feel his energy very strong. Now I have another guide called Buddha Boy, and he only works with me in healing, and I know he's not here at the moment. I can feel he's definitely not here. So we can ask that question for validation if I wanted to. So make sure your pendulum's still and in the centre. So is Buddha Boy working with me at this moment in time or in the room? Very quickly I'm getting my no, my back and forth. Don't know if you can see this in the video too well, but it literally is swinging quite prominent, quite strong, giving me that no answer. Now you can also use pendulums with meditation, or if you're wanting to connect with a personal guide. I've had a new guide that's recently in the last couple of months been drawn and channeled for me, and I actually talk about this experience in my new up and coming book, Spirit Magic. And she's a guide I know that's been channeled to work with me with my witchcraft ways. Now I've been given no name with her. She's been drawn by the fantastic spirit and portrait artist, psychic artist, and visionary artist Anna Drew. Check her out if you're not familiar with her work. Fantastic spirit drawer. And I'm going to show you the portrait. So this is the portrait of my newest spirit guide. And literally this morning, as I was just chatting away in the shower to myself, I just felt she was around. And I feel very strongly her name is called Alice. I don't know why, I don't know how, but the name Alice has been really, really repeating every time I look at this portrait. So I actually pendulumed this earlier, and I asked, is my latest spirit guide called Alice? So we'll ask the question, is she called Alice? And straight away we're getting the yes answer. We're getting that circulation again. So I know, yes, I've identified she is called Alice. Is she? So then we stop the pendulum. Always make sure you take it back to where you started before you ask another question. Is she to help with my witchcraft work? Straight away getting a yes with that. Okay, which is what I feel. Definitely with my kitchen witch stuff, which is to come. And that's a personal thing for me at the moment. Okay, will she be helping with my mediumship work? Straight away, that's a gun to no. So she is more for my witchcraft side of things. She's not to help with my mediumship, which again is how I felt that to be. So that's really interesting. Now I currently don't have her on display, but I know she needs to be on display in my sort of witches apocryphy sort of area. So I'm going to ask this. Does Alice want to be displayed within my cabinet? Straight away, very quickly, that's going to yes. So the more that I can connect with her image, the stronger the links that she will work with me will become. So as you can see, that pendulum's going mental. She really wants to be out and on display. So those are just a few quick and easy techniques of things you can use the pendulum for. What I would say, we all have our own built-in pendulum, which is from the heart center. So very often people can become reliant, and they sometimes get a bit too dependent on the power of a pendulum, and it is just a tool like anything else, like tarot, like crystal ball, whatever it might be that you use. Obviously, use it, it can give really good insight and advice, but always feel in with your actual heart center, because that's where your true pendulum lies. Okay, so have fun with it, enjoy it, experience it. Make sure you work with it ethically, but don't take it to a place where you become obsessed and you live, breathe, and sleep by it, which some people do. Some people are like, shall I have red socks this morning or blue socks? Do you know what I mean? Don't take it to that space. It's a handy tool and it's a great tool, but it is just a tool. Okay? So I hope this video has helped to explain how to use a pendulum. Have fun, take care guys, bless be, much love, and I'll chat to you again soon. Bye for now.